Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, and what a day it has been. We got the official full-on reveal for Call of Duty Vanguard. We had the Battle for Verdansk event, which is on your screen right now, and we got a bunch of information about the game coming from official sources like Sledgehammer Games themselves and the official Call of Duty Twitter, which will be covering all of this here in today's video. So first things first, the Battle for Verdansk. This was going to be the precursor to us actually unlocking the trailer, because of course once the event is over, suddenly the trailer is going to pop up. But the event was pretty lame, like for being as big as Warzone is, and then as big as Call of Duty and Activision is, like, it's kind of crazy to me that they hype up this event, they're sending out posters and all sorts of stuff like that, and what was the event? We literally shoot at a train for like 10 or 15 minutes until it blows up. That was it. That was the entire event. You look at the stuff that happens in Fortnite, and then you compare it to us shooting at a train for 10 minutes. It got to the point where I eventually just kind of killed myself, and then I kept trying to get on top of the train, and then the very front of the train, of course, you see me on top of it, and then I would just sit there and just continuously shoot and shoot and shoot. You get a little bit of XP, I suppose, but in general, kind of lame for an event. They could have done so much more, but regardless, at the very end of the event, we try to extract, we get blown up by a bomb, and then suddenly the trailer is here. Now, this is a pretty long trailer. I'm not going to be playing any audio, because apparently anytime I play audio for a Call of Duty trailer, they decide to demonetize me. I don't know why, but that's just the way Activision is. But while we watch this trailer, let's go ahead and talk about some of the confirmed information that we got today. So, Call of Duty Vanguard is going to release on November 5th for Xbox, PlayStation, as well as PC. This has also been confirmed, and this is the biggest part. We talked about this previously, but it has been confirmed that there will be 16 6v6 multiplayer maps across Europe, North Africa, and the Soviet Union at launch. This is the most maps we've had at launch for 6v6 in a Call of Duty game since Modern Warfare 2 back in 2009. Definitely some pretty big news there. Now, you may remember me reporting that we were supposedly going to be getting 4 war maps at launch as well, as part of a previous leak that came out, but it turns out when they talked about these special maps, it was not for war. I don't believe so far they haven't mentioned it, but I don't think war is going to be in this game. Instead, there's going to be a new Champions Hill game mode, which is basically going to be like a battle royale take on 2v2, so maybe it's going to be like 4 teams of 2, maybe it's going to be like multi-team, I don't know, they haven't really talked about it yet, but yeah, there's going to be 4 maps for this new Champions Hill game mode also at launch, so 16 maps for 6v6, 4 maps for Champions Hill, right there at launch, and that's pretty awesome if you ask me. Like, credit where credit is due. This is the kind of thing we've been asking for and discussing for years and years and years. I mean, going back to the original Call of Duty World War II, they had, what was it, 9 maps at launch? Was it 8 plus quarantine, or was it 9 plus quarantine? I can't remember, but regardless, Call of Duty World War II was like the first in a string of games that just had barely any content at launch. Like, we would play the beta, right? We'd play the beta for these games. We'd have like 5 maps in the beta, and we'd be sitting there enjoying the game and whatnot, thinking to ourselves, man, it's gonna be awesome when the whole game comes out. And lo and behold, when the full launch happens, the beta basically was the whole game. Like, all the guns, all the maps were right there in the beta, and there's like nothing new waiting for us at launch. Well, this year it's gonna be a lot different, and I'm pretty excited about that. Now, moving along here, Vanguard is confirmed to be running on the Modern Warfare engine, which the devs say will make the Warzone integration seamless, which that's whatever to me. I mean, you guys know I'm not a fan of Modern Warfare 2019. I actually quit doing YouTube for like 6 months because I just did not like the game, didn't want to cover it. I'm not going to be like fake and lie to you guys and act like, oh boy, I love this game because I need to pay my bills. No, I haven't got a real job for pretty much the entirety of the Modern Warfare life cycle because I really did not enjoy the game. So you may be thinking, well, Nero, if it's the same engine, you're probably going to hate Call of Duty Vanguard. Well, I don't think that's true. It wasn't the engine that made Modern Warfare bad. The engine was cool. What made Modern Warfare bad were doors, right? We had things like Dead Silence being a field upgrade, which is leaked to be true in Vanguard, and if that happens, that's going to be just a complete shit show. Dead Silence needs to be a perk, or Footsteps need to be like dead silent, quiet by default. Like, just how things have to be. There's a whole list of other things that made Modern Warfare not very good. It wasn't the engine. The engine was cool. The graphics were good. The gunplay and stuff was fine. It just, you died a little bit too quick, in my opinion. But that comes down to balance and design philosophy, not how the game actually ran, essentially, right? So the engine being Modern Warfare, that's fine. I'm completely okay with that. Now, we have some other reports coming in that Vanguard's multiplayer is going to feature destructible environments. And, quote, this is coming from Charlie Intel, if you throw a grenade into a room, everything will move/be affected. You can shoot through planks, and they'll be destroyed, which will create new sightlines. You can destroy a door and open up areas of the map and more, is what the quote says. That's concerning to me a little bit. I don't know, just the idea of doors, man. Modern Warfare. We don't need Warfare 1944, basically, is what I'm saying here. We don't need to have that happening again. I mean, we can blow up the doors and destroy them, but I don't want to spend the first, 2 minutes of a domination match making sure every damn door's blown up so we can actually play the game. You know, I don't want that to happen at all. I do think it's interesting that we're going to be able to move different things within rooms and stuff like that. It should be interesting. I don't think it's going to be as crazy as we're making out in our minds, or at least I'm making out in my mind, because I think this is going to be kind of nuts. I kind of like stationary cover that can't really be moved, because that way you can learn the map, and then the more you play the game, the better you get, because you know every single building, every single room, every single sight line. Whereas now things are going to be updated more dynamically, and there's going to be different lines of sight that present themselves throughout the match as it goes on. So who knows if it's actually going to be good. It's going to be interesting for sure. And of course, with the alpha and the beta, we'll be testing that and seeing how things go. And I'll definitely be reporting more on that here on the channel. Moving along here, the official Call of Duty Twitter says that Vanguard is going to have free updates, limited time and seasonal events, as well as community celebrations. So that is awesome. I'm a big fan of that. I made a whole video talking about Call of Duty Days of Summer and talking about how it was this amazing event, and then over the years, it got worse and worse, till eventually it just became items in the shop, essentially, which the same thing happened to Shamrock and Odd. Remember, was it Black Ops 4? No, Black Ops 4 did a couple of things. But maybe it was Modern Warfare, I can't remember. But one of the games, literally the entire Shamrock and Awe event, there was no event. They just added, a Leprechaun variant for, a light machine gun into the store, or something like that. It might be Cold War. I can't even remember. Either way, events used to be amazing. And Sledgehammer Games and Raven Software were, the kings of these events, right? Back during Modern Warfare Remastered, as well as Call of Duty World War II, events were amazing. They were so much fun. And it looks like they're going to be returning for Call of Duty Vanguard, so definitely some good news there. And to wrap up the video here, we have some news in regards to zombies as well as Warzone. And I say that so nonchalantly, this is not massive news. It is massive news. This is actually huge. But zombies this year is going to be developed by Treyarch. That's right. Treyarch is handling the zombies in Call of Duty Vanguard. But it's not just that. Because the game is set in World War II, the story in Vanguard is going to be a prequel to the events of Cold War zombies. How awesome is that? Everything that happened in Cold War Zombies is going to be relevant in this game, and everything in this game is going to be relevant to what happens in Cold War. So you may remember when they first opened up the, what was it called, the D Machina map or whatever, they showed that cinematic of these World War II soldiers walking into the bunker, and they were holding things like PPSHs and whatnot, which back then I was like, wow, they should add the PPSH in the multiplayer. That'd be sick. And then they eventually did it. Well, that is going to be maybe the ending. What if that's the ending of zombies for Vanguard, where they eventually find that bunker? I don't know. I don't know how the story's going to go. I'm not a zombie story guy, all right? There's plenty of other zombies people out there. I'm sure they know much better than I, and they're much more educated. I just think it's awesome that we're not going to get a half-baked kind of zombies mode like we saw back during the original World War II. Instead, we're getting Treyarch zombies again. The story's going to tie into what happens in Cold War, and that is freaking awesome. Now, the final bit of news for today's video, ladies and gentlemen, for everyone out there who actually cares about Warzone, it's been confirmed. It's been confirmed, a brand new Warzone map at launch for Vanguard, and along with it will come an anti-cheat. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. If you're one of those people that quit normal COD and you play only Warzone and only care about Warzone, which probably isn't anyone that watches my channel, new map, anti-cheat, it's actually finally happening. Goodness gracious, Verdansk will be no more, or maybe they'll keep it, who knows, but there's going to be a brand new map, a full-on Warzone map. We're not talking a Rebirth Island here. It's a full Warzone map set in World War II, and anti-cheats can be part of it, and there you have it. I mean, that's good news, right? And I'm excited for that as well. I've talked about it before. I won't ramble too much because you guys know I like Blackout. I've always enjoyed Blackout much more than Warzone. And a big problem with Warzone for me is the map. It's just way too big, way too many buildings, way too many skyscrapers, way too many windows, way too many corners. So, as a result, with a brand new map, they can potentially alleviate that a bit and make the map a bit more like the Blackout map, make it a bit more open, make it a bit more linear, make it a bit more natural elevation with hills and stuff like that, as compared to 20-story skyscrapers where somebody could be camping on any floor in that entire building. Instead of having stuff like that, they could make it a bit more natural, like we saw with the Blackout map. And who knows? I don't know. I'm gonna play it for sure. I'm gonna give it a go. I'll give it a fair shake. But yeah, that's gonna be a lot of fun, man. So brand new Warzone map, that'll be interesting to check out. Anti-cheat, so people stop cheating in Warzone. I've seen a lot of videos and stuff. People are saying the Warzone's nearly unplayable now. because of how many people are cheating. Like, people are just live streaming themselves cheating now because they don't care. Because it's a free game. The cheats are pretty much free, right? And so they just, keep on playing and cheating, and they get banned. They're like, oh no, I guess I'll have to make another free account, and then they just cheat some more, right? It's a huge problem. So they're finally fixing that, which is fantastic. It'll be fun trying out the multiplayer. 16 maps at launch, World War II, across the entirety of World War II, not just very centralized within the European theater like we saw at launch for the original Call of Duty World War II. And then, of course, Treyarch Zombies and continuing that whole thing. Of course, everything is likely going to be tied together, so XP and Warzone is going to be tying over into Zombies, and stuff you do in Zombies will help towards your multiplayer rank and leveling up your guns. The Gunsmith is confirmed to be coming back, and so it's going to be... The integration sounds pretty awesome. It really does. So far, on paper, this sounds really good. Now, for some reason, people feel the need to keep reminding me, Nero, let's wait for gameplay. Nero, this is the annual COD cycle. They're always able to trick us with trailers and stuff like that. I get it, right? I get it. It's okay to be excited for good news, though. I think the Call of Duty community, and rightfully so, is sometimes overly cynical. And, I mean, I'm guilty of it myself. Have you seen my channel? But when good news comes out, it's okay to be happy about good news. Now, obviously, we don't know exactly how everything is going to play out, but just based on what we know on paper, this sounds really interesting. I'm sticking with my default position of cautiously optimistic. Obviously, we don't know how... The game could be awful. The game could be like the worst multiplayer experience ever, for all we know. Or it could be the best. We have no idea. I'm not going to jump on the hype wagon like you see the pro players on Twitter, like, hey, it's going to be the best Call of Duty ever, or anything like that. No, that's never me. But I do think this game has a lot of potential. I thoroughly enjoyed Call of Duty World War II, even when it was busted at launch with its barely any launch day content and the division system that made no sense whatsoever. Eventually, the game got really good, though. Right, they end up changing up domination. They revamped the entirety of the division system and made it so there's different basic trainings, and they reworked what the different divisions actually gave you, and then it became this really interesting creative class, and it was actually very fun. Then they kept releasing more and more maps and more guns and the headquarters and seasonal updates, and the core gameplay I thought was enjoyable as well, and it was awesome. I enjoyed Call of Duty World War II, and this sounds like Call of Duty World War II, but better, potentially. On paper, anyway. Based on what we know so far. But ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. I hope you all enjoyed today's video. If you did, consider leaving a like, leave your thoughts and feedback on all of today's news down there in the comment section below, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.